Hi, everybody. My name is Brianna, and welcome to Told by Bree. As you guys can tell by the title of this video, this is a very hard topic for me to discuss because I am still grieving. I know I don't have to go into a lot of detail, but for me, I need to just talk it out. And I hope that my story can encourage others that may be going through the same thing to know that you're not alone. So I found out I was pregnant back in July, and I was really excited. I was stressed. I was just all the feelings. And I've had kids before. I have 3 kids, and this was my fourth. And I was very excited, and my fiance was really excited too. And things were like really great. Um, so we had our first ultrasound appointment in July, actually. And it was actually July 30th when we went. And so we saw our baby for the first time, and it was just magical. Um, Loved every single second of it. And, I was like, okay, I'm doing this again. And I had such great support, family, friends, just everybody was just really supportive. Um, and August came around. Um, I had a lot of issues with my pregnancy when I was 8 weeks along. And unfortunately, the healthcare system where I currently live right now, um, they are, for lack of better words, I would say they are very scarce. Um, and when you have insurance that only is accepted at certain like hospital affiliations and doctors' offices, it makes it a little bit harder. Um, so I went to the hospital, the local ER, and I was told at 8 weeks that I had a subchorionic hematoma. Um, and the doctor assured me that, it's fine, it's normal, because I went in and I was complaining of just side pain, like a lot of side pain on my right side. So they did like a lot of different exams, testing and things like that, different gallbladder, things like that, kidneys, everything. And so I came back with nothing except for, just that's all I have was a subchorionic hematoma. I said, okay. Um, so, I leave the hospital, come home. Um, then, as I got closer to 10 weeks, um, I got a SneakPeek test. And when I got the SneakPeek test, I was really super excited. My fiance was just like, I'm so excited, because for him, it's his first. And he wanted to know the gender. I wanted to know the gender. Um, but also, I was trying to the best that I could to hang on until I could secure care for my baby. And so, between finding out that I'm pregnant and expecting, and my fiance is really excited, and you know, going to the hospital before taking the SneakPeek test, everything honestly seemed normal. It was fine. So I took the SneakPeek test at the end of August, and I got my results back on, it was August the 29th, if I have memory. um, and it said it's a girl. Um, all I have are boys. I don't want to say that I've had gender disappointment. I've never had gender disappointment, but when it was a girl, I was just really shocked because, all I have are boys. It's kind of like, how did this happen? Kind of thing. Um, so yeah, um, but like super duper excited. And then um, the worst happened. Um, right now, this is the month of September. Um, I had a work trip that I had to go on. Um, And then not only a work trip, but I also had a alumni engagement that I had to go to. So I was traveling like the first 2 weeks of September, essentially. Um, and, everything was fine. Of course, I, I felt that was really tired, like really, really tired. And of course, morning sickness was kicking my butt. Like when I tell you I had morning sickness, like I could barely eat, I could barely keep anything down. Morning sickness, honestly, should be called 24/7 sickness because it was something serious. Um, but I was just happy. I was excited, and so I come back from my work engagements and my alumni engagements, and last week. Um, Not even last week, honestly, the week before last week, I went to the ER again. And when I went to the ER this time, I went on the 16th of September this month. Um, I went in because I'm complaining of cramping. I don't know why I'm cramping, but this specific day I vomited more than 10 times, like back to back. And it was like, okay, I don't know what's going on. I felt really dehydrated too. So I got there, they just said that, you really are just dehydrated. From all the cramping, we got to give you IV fluids and we're also going to give you antibiotics. And I was like, okay. Um, of course, I'm under the impression that I don't have a subchorionic hematoma anymore, right? Um, and so I explained to them, what happened with that situation when I was last at the ER. And I was ordered to take a ultrasound, right? So they could check on baby. Um, Inadvertently, they actually ended up admitting me just to keep me under observation for 24 hours. And I still never got the ultrasound. I even asked the doctor before I was discharged. I was like, like, do I send an ultrasound? The doctor was like, no, it's okay. Like, you're free to go home. Like, it's just cramping or just dehydrated, things like that. So I was like, okay. Um, then, when I got home from the hospital last week, um, Sunday was when I started having really bad symptoms. Um, this time it just felt really different. I didn't feel like I was cramping. This literally felt like I was having a period, which is really strange. Also, TMI for those people that are watching, but sorry. Um, but this just really felt different because my whole entire left side was just really hurting really, really badly. And I don't, I don't know like what it was, but something was just wrong. And I remember telling my fiance, I remember telling my mom, I'm like, look, there's something wrong here. I need to go get checked, but I'm afraid about going. They're just going to probably just send me away, so I'm just dehydrated or something like that. Um, wasn't having any spotting, like any blood or anything like that, just pain. But it cleared up, it went away. So I wasn't too like concerned about it, maybe like for an hour, like off and on. But I just remember just being in bed all day Sunday. Um, Monday rolls around, and so on Monday the same thing happened. And I just remember just being in bed all day and I just remember having a conversation um, with my fiance, like, hey, like, I'm really in a lot of pain right now. Um, and he's like, do you want to go to the hospital? And I'm like, no, it's okay, I'll be okay. Um, went through the day again, pain went away. Then Tuesday last week, on the, just Tuesday last week, was really the final straw. So September 23rd, I went to the ER. I went late at night. Um, I had a lot going on that day, but at the same exact time, I remember the pain was just persistent, like it just wouldn't stop. Honestly, it low key felt like I was having contractions, which is really, something I don't think I would have gotten so soon. But it was like contractions mixed with like this period feeling, and I didn't understand why. Um, so something just told me just to get up. So I go to the bathroom, and then next thing you know, I'm on the phone, and it's like, I need to go to the hospital, I need to go now. So I get to the ER, and the ER is doing testing. But before I can even like make it to an ER bed, like I am literally dying. And something was wrong, terribly wrong. And sometimes I know that when you're carrying a pregnancy, sometimes, things happen, and there may be a possibility of, having like blood and things like that happening to your body. Um, and it's normal. And this time it just didn't seem normal. When I was just there, it just didn't seem normal, and I knew something was wrong. Um, the ER doctor, he ordered um, ultrasounds to be done, and they took me straight to ultrasounds. They did a lot of blood and vitals. Honestly, I don't think I've ever been like to the ER like that quickly since I've been pregnant, to be honest. Mind you, I still don't have OB care. And this is where I feel the health system honestly failed me as a mom. My first OB appointment was scheduled for October 22nd. And had I have gone to that appointment, I honestly would have been like 20 weeks along. Like, so I've explained it to the doctors. I was like, look, something's wrong, and I don't have care. And I've been trying to get care, but I can't do anything because of my insurance, and I'm just left hanging. Um, I felt like I did everything in my power to make sure that I got prompt attention when I could, but also, of course, also making judgment decisions and judgment calls. Like, okay, well, it's just pain. They're probably gonna just send me away and say the same exact thing. This time was different. I remember being in the ultrasound area, like the lab area, and so the technician, she was just click, 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 like it was just so fast. She was just clicking and clicking and clicking. And in my head, I didn't want to say anything, but I felt like at that moment I knew. Like I genuinely knew. So I gave Lola back to my room and there with my fiance, and I'm telling him, I'm like, look, I don't think our baby made it because I'm used to going into an ultrasound and there's not a lot of clicks. Like, just there's too many clicks. Um, I'd say maybe like an hour after the fact, the doctor comes in and he said, I'm so sorry. Your baby does not have a heartbeat and this pregnancy is non viable. When I tell you I was so distraught, I had the hugest cry ever, mixed with anger. I told the doctor straight up, I was like, look, you're wrong. My baby is fine. I need a second opinion. And the ER doctor was saying, well, my HCG levels were 70,000 when I was last at the hospital, and now they're at 40,000 and it's dropping. I didn't know what to say to that, except for, in my mind, well, 40,000 is honestly, it's a big number, so, I'm still pregnant, right? Like, babies can survive this. Um, so then at random, the bleeding just got worse. Um, so the ER doctor had me basically rushed over to the OB emergency department where they did further testing, and then they also said the same exact thing. By this point, I am hemorrhaging. I don't even know it, but I was really adamant. I'm just like, there's no way my baby's gone. There's just no way my baby's gone. I've never lost a child what feels like halfway there at 15 weeks and 1 day. Never with any of my pregnancies. Yes, I've had miscarriages before where they're early and I didn't know the gender and I didn't know a full human. And so I was just shocked. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. Um, so it was already happening. There's something that I could do. There's something I could honestly do to stop it. The reason why I'm bleeding is because at this point I am miscarrying. And so I get taken back. I'm losing a lot of blood still. I'm being taken back. I'm having to send paperwork. There's a lot going on. My mom's here at this point. My fiance's here. Both of them are there. My kids are with my dad. And it's just like there's a lot going on. So I get taken back. And before I asked the doctor, I said, can you please when you do this DNC, can you please make sure that my daughter is intact? Because I don't want to see my daughter mishandled any kind of way. I don't want that. The doctor told me she did everything that she could. So the doctor, she did. She brought my daughter to me in one piece. Thank God for that. And the OB doctor said we have 24 hours with her before we'd have to take her to the next destination. I spent 24 hours with my daughter. I felt happy that she was here. She's such a pretty girl. I felt comforted. But I couldn't make peace because my daughter's not coming home. Physically, my daughter's not coming home. And spiritually, I am a Christian, and spiritually, I know where my daughter is. My daughter, she is in heaven. She is protected. She is loved, and she's with her family members that have also passed and are in heaven. So I know my daughter, she's not alone. When I tell you the physical pain was the worst, it was the worst. I never expected to have to bury my own child. And there's nothing that one can say to me as a mother. I'm sorry. Doesn't feel like I'm sorry. And it's a lot. It's really a lot. At the end of those 24 hours, they asked me how involved did I want to be in the process of securing her body so that she could be taken to where she needed to go. I got her ready to go down to where she needed to go to. It's not her permanent resting place because I am going to have a burial for my daughter. And that was the most gut-wrenching reality in my face. That my daughter is no longer physically here with me. And denial does not even describe how I was feeling in that moment whatsoever. Not only was I in denial, I couldn't let go because physically I'm used to I have a baby and I bring my child home with me. Not I have a baby and my child's gone. And at that moment, I had to pull every single piece of strength I had in me that I could find to not tell her goodbye, but that I will see her soon. And those words in my mind helped comfort me and still comfort me until I'm able to let go of my anger, let go of how sad I'm feeling, and all these different emotions and stages of grief that I'm going through right now currently. Because if I don't, it's not going to help me be able to also put my mind at peace and also how I feel spiritually. And I know my religion and my background when it comes to my relationship with God. So I need to physically affirm myself mentally. So I am now in the stage of planning a funeral for my daughter. The most hardest thing I think of I'm going to ever have to do for a child of mine. Being so young, being single that I have kids. I'm not even 30 yet. and I'm having to do this. This is something that I've never imagined I would ever have to do. And it's hard. It's really hard. So, with that being said, not only do I have to bury my child, but I also have to go through paperwork. And the hospital has made the paperwork process very, very frustrating. I'm angry because I'm so frustrated with the paperwork right now. I know that my child is a girl. On the paperwork, they put boy. There's a lot of paperwork that has to be redone because my daughter is still sitting at the hospital right now, waiting to be picked up so that way she can go to her final earthly resting place because of the gender. Not only that, there are a lot of other things that are going on with this hospital specifically that I can't honestly comprehend. And I'm not, honestly not even going to get into detail even about that. But it's hard. Today makes 6 days since I have not had my daughter. I went in on the 23rd. Today is the 29th. It's been 6 days. And my daughter was born on September 24th at 1:50 in the morning. She is almost 5 inches long. She honestly fits in the palm of my hand. And all I have of her physically is a memory box of a journal that I've been writing in. I have hospital bands. I have her footprints, her handprints. I have her baby photos, all her ultrasound photos. I have her welcome card. I have what should have been her first clothing and blanket. And I have her actual blanket that her dad picked for her. Not only that, but I have photos of my daughter and her natural beauty. She's such a pretty girl. And in my dream, God came to me and God told me what my daughter looks like. That I didn't question it because I know what my daughter looks like. I know she's safe. However, my earthly mind was like, okay, let me just put me and her dad in an AI generator and find my daughter, you know? And I found my daughter. I found exactly when she came to me in the dream that God gave me. I saw her. And when I seen the AI photo of her after multiple attempts, because y'all know AI is not ain't it all there. Okay? When I saw her for who she is, I knew it was her. And I'm so thankful that I was able to see a sign of her through AI. But not just that. I'm gonna cry. Thanks, learn not to cry. Okay. My daughter, she's such a pretty girl. Honestly, I lost my train of thought because I have so much going on emotion wise right now. And to be honest, I'm probably just gonna cut out the tiny bits and pieces of me crying or just needing a moment, because I want this video to be as real and as raw, just unedited, nothing, me just straight talking. Um, but I saw a rainbow of our daughter in the sky, and I know God sent the rainbow, and I know she sent the rainbow. My fiance and I and the kids, we were all out, just running everyday errands. When I was discharged from the hospital on September 25th after having my daughter, and it was like going on 1 o'clock in the morning when I was actually discharged from the hospital. But later that day, on the 25th, I saw a rainbow in the sky, and I knew it was her. I know it was her because it didn't rain like at all that day. It did not rain. So I know it was her. I knew she was sitting aside saying, "Mommy, Daddy, brothers, I'm okay. I'm fine." So, yeah. And then since then, I open her box every single morning. I talk to God. I pray. Our family prays every single day for her. But besides prayer, um, I still eat the things that she likes because that's comforting to me. I still do the things that I was doing before because it's comforting to me. But I also feel, and I don't think a lot of people may even talk about it, but I feel in my stage of grief, I have not hit postpartum depression yet. Have not hit postpartum depression, rock bottom, yet. And I know postpartum depression is a real thing. It does happen. It has happened to me for, honestly, all three of my pregnancies, or my kids that I have now. So it's hard. It's really hard. But I say that to say I am crying, just crying, crying. I'm crying. Trying to stay strong for my baby girl. Not only am I trying to stay strong for my baby girl, but also I'm trying to stay strong for my kids, because I still do have kids that are living with me now. And so, with that being said, I feel not just sadness and anger, but I also feel peace. Um, I do things in memory of my daughter, and time just feels so slow. It feels like time stopped. I don't even know what day it is unless I look at a clock, or I look at the computer, or I look at my phone. Like, then I know what time it is, and then I know what day it is. Time feels stuck. It feels like every single second that's passing by, it's so slow. But yet, time hasn't stopped. Time is still going and still moving. And I feel like I'm the only one that's stuck. But not just me. My fiance, he feels stuck too, because we just lost our daughter. There's nothing that one can say when you lose your child as a parent. And I don't honestly think that any parent's honestly prepared to lose their child, especially so early. Um, so, for anyone out there that has lost their child so young while pregnant, um, I lost my child at 15 weeks and 1 day old. We are planning a funeral right now. And then by the time they get back to us with the pathology report, it's 2 weeks. So we know what went wrong. I can't even go home right now. Like, I don't want to go home. Like, I don't want to go home, right? So we just booked a hotel so I don't have to be home. So I can focus my mind and just breathe, because being home right now feels suffocating to me. So, with that being said, um, I think I'm gonna end the video here. I have so much else, like a lot of things that I want to say, but I just can't say them right now because I can't even put it into words. So, thank you for taking the time to watch the video with me. Not even watch the video with me, just honestly just listening to me talk and just rant. Not even a rant, just vent, really. I tried to stay strong through this video. I feel like this is something that I had to do to talk it out. My family will see this video too as well. And, sorry, it's something in the sky. It's a little thing that just fell. Anyway, but yeah, so this is something that's going to comfort me. I will probably post a follow up video. I don't know. But this is not goodbye for me, for our daughter. It's see you soon. And I may or I may not even include clips from the very beginning until now. I don't know. Just off the top of my head, I don't know. But I hope that for future videos that I do plan to post on this channel, because I haven't posted in so long, that those videos too will probably I'll probably keep those videos on my channel, or I may just delete them. I don't know. Um, it's just so unimaginable. It's like, how did this happen? How does this happen? I think that's gonna be it for now. So, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video.